Welcome to... Wait, what are we calling this podcast?
How about we just say welcome to, and then you put it in later.
Welcome to...
Levitating everywhere.
Alright, we're good. Let's go.
Okay.
Alright, that's good. Okay, so let's start the interview. Question 1. How do you like our podcast so far?
It's pretty good. The clapping was difficult.
Yeah, that was a bit hard. The people listening, they're not going to hear the clapping.
I know, but I want them to understand that we've already gotten over one hurdle.
Yeah, that was the first major hurdle, and everything else can only go right.
So what do you think of the podcast so far?
Oh, I think it's going pretty good.
If that's any indication. Dude.
Alright, question 2.
Okay.
How much money do you make a year?
Oh, God, dude. Nothing. Like
Nothing?
zero. Nothing.
You're fucking broke, dude. Anyway, I crunched the numbers. I got the Windows calculator up right here.
Okay. What are we working with?
0.
I'm thinking about investing in some things, and I wanted to ask your opinion on them.
Alright, where are you going to invest in?
You know, I was thinking about a new pair of pants, because I've had the same pair of pants since probably December of last year.
Uh-huh.
Looking at my current portfolio, do you think that's possible?
I wouldn't say that it's possible, but if you were to get those pants, you're not going to see a great return. Like, it's really a seller's market as far as pants are concerned.
I was just thinking in terms of like Groupon and things like that, maybe there's a whole new sort of Web 3.0 pants bartering system that I could get in on.
Hold on, I'm going to Groupon. Let's see. No, I don't want to send them my email address. Do I have to do that? I'll send them your email address.
No, just write pants in the field and see what happens.
In the email field? All right.
Yeah. Just say new pants, same pants since December.
It's just give me a red exclamation point. I'm gonna have to give them your email address.
Why don't you just say same pants since December, Groupon, please help, and then hit enter and see what happens.
Oh, they have a deal going on at Basil Bears.
What's Basil Bears?
Well, there's a picture with a guy holding some kind of herb, and then a woman with kind of a horse face, and they're sitting at a table with a bunch of raw vegetables on it. And then there's a chef with a neck beard, and he's just kind of stirring a wok that looks like it's filled with milk.
Oh, they're bears in the sort of terms of the gay community. They just kind of like this is like big sweaty guys, and they just staple herbs to themselves and kind of make love on top of a saucer of milk.
A saucer?
I don't know why saucer.
A saucer?
Doesn't Groupon itself, the first time I heard Groupon, and I'm not even just saying there's a bit, like, it legitimately sounds like a weird porn site.
It's like, there's like a group on you, like, they're all gonna, like, pile up. That's what I thought.
Seriously, it's like, I don't want to get grouped on. Wait, you didn't give them your zip code, did you?
Oh, I gave them my zip code.
Dude, they're gonna fucking find you and Groupon you.
Dude, whatever, they have your email address.
Oh, fuck.
I wasn't kidding.
Are they gonna email me?
Huh?
Are they gonna email me concerning the pants, or what?
I'm trying to find how to search. How it works. Here we go. Step 1, get it. Step 2, share it. Step 3, enjoy it. No. Okay, question 3.
Shit, we're just zipping all right.
What's your favorite thing about my big brown eyes?
I told you this already. I'm imagining when they're replaced by, like, black fields of nothingness when you've died and your skin's rotted off, and I'm just looking at your skull.
Is that a Dylan Thomas quote?
No, that's me, the last living man on Earth. That's how I'm planning it. That's what I see in my future.
How do you think you're going to outlive everyone else?
Bitterness? I don't know.
Bitterness.
Don't you think that'd be like... That's what Charlton Heston did in Omega Man. That was the plot, right?
Was he bitter as much as he was racist?
He was racist. Yeah, no, you're right. He was racist. Racism what kept him alive.
So, I was thinking this would be the part of the podcast where I just kind of noodle around a guitar for 45 minutes.
No. I'll come to Cincinnati and stab you to death. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pitch to you, I don't know, 3, 4 different podcast ideas, and then you can tell me what you think. Okay, here's the first one. We're gonna do drugs, right? And
Drugs?
Yeah. But, like, legal drugs.
Okay.
And each week, it will be a different legal drug. And, we're gonna start out real simple. There's a simple formula for it. Week 1 is gonna be Tylenol, right?
Alright.
So episode 1 is Tylenol, okay? Episode 2 is Tylenol 2. Okay? Episode 3, are you following me? Episode 3 is going to be Tylenol 3, which is codeine.
Uh-huh.
Episode 4 is going to be Tylenol 4. Okay?
Wait, episode 4 is what?
Tylenol 4.
Okay, yeah.
Episode 5 is going to be Tylenol 5.
Okay.
You following me where I'm going here?
You're just... Okay.
Episode 6 is going to be Tylenol 6.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're doing. And episode 7 is going to be Tylenol 7.
Yeah. And what do you think episode 8 is going to be?
Spice?
Methamphetamine. Oh, spice! I didn't even think about that. Eyes will turn blue, we can see through space. So, I figure if we do Tylenol for 52 weeks, that's 1 full year of Tylenol. We call the podcast 1 year of Tylenol. or my year with Tylenol.
That wouldn't be a bad thing, actually. Alright, what's your next podcast idea?
Okay. So, this has kind of a setup to it. When I was living in Japan, their TV guide is called TV Brothers. Like TV BROS period. Like
Yeah.
Mario Brothers. And I was thinking that we should make a podcast called Pasta Brothers. And what I was thinking about it is, a few years ago, maybe about a year or two ago, I was driving and I was listening to NPR, and they were talking about how there was this guy who was getting really famous for going around the country and sharpening pencils. Like, that's all he was doing. He was just having public shows of sharpening pencils, and it was really smug and really self-satisfied, and like, most people don't know how to sharpen pencils, but here's a guy who's ready to show people how to do it. And he was just like, here's what you do, guys. You just put it in the machine, you crank, and you sharpen pencils. It's very philosophical. And it was like this whole... It was... I don't know, that whole, like, Etsy, do-it-yourself, stupid culture for really mediocre people when they convince themselves they're kind of interesting. I don't know, maybe it was just based on where I was when I was hearing it, but I was in the car, and I heard that on NPR, and I really wanted to, like, pull over and rip the stereo out of the car and throw it in the woods, and rip myself out of the car. So here's what we do. We do that, but with pasta. So every week we just tell people how to boil pasta, which is, really simple, but then we wax philosophical on it. Oh, and also, the main conceit of the podcast is that we're brothers, and our last name is Pasta, and we're Siamese twins, but we're connected with pasta. We're not connected actually bodily. We're just connected with, like, hardened pasta. And, as it goes on, there could be intrigue, like, we're the Pasta brothers, maybe our pasta mother liked you better, our pasta father died of mysterious causes. It could be a whole pasta cousins come in,
Maybe one of the Siamese pasta twins is adopted.
Yeah, I mean, if they're only joined by pasta, it doesn't have to be genetic at all. They could be totally different ages. They could be from...
When you say they're joined by pasta, do you mean there's a physical bond of pasta between them, or do you mean that they're joined together as brothers by their love of pasta?
See, I don't think those two things are mutually exclusive. I think maybe both or neither.
Okay. That's not bad. I do kind of like that. What were the other ones you had?
Okay, I think I already talked to you about this, but this is the big one. This is the best one. We're going from worst to best. Here's the best idea. So, the main premise of this podcast is that we're two comedians. We live in LA, right? Mm-hmm. And
I remember this, yeah.
We talk about, what the comedy scene's like, what are the alternative rooms like, what are the main clubs, going on the road. But we mainly talk about Twitter and Twitter followers and how to get more Twitter followers and who likes us on Twitter and stuff like that. But then as the podcast is going on, we start dropping little hints like, like the other day I was eating a bale of hay, or like the other day, like a young rich white girl was combing my mane. And then people are like, huh? What's going on with that? And as the podcast slowly goes on, it's slowly revealed. We stop speaking English and we just start making snorting noises and neighing and stomping and stuff. And as the podcast goes on, our human disguises drop off, and it turns out we were horses the whole time. And every week has the same exact twist. Every week it just turns out we were horses. But every week people tune in because they love the same twist over and over again.
Oh,
Like, you know how in Lost everybody would tune in for the same twist? Be like, oh, they're still on an island. Like, the last scene of every episode of Lost was, oh my god, they're still on that island. You know, and I mean, the main twist of Mad Men is that it's really a horrible show. And you forget that, you turn it on, you're like, oh, this is stylish, everybody's really attractive. And then when the credits come up,
so boring. It must
you're like, this
really
sucks.
good.
So, yeah, same twist. Except this time, you know, we're not actually...
Can I just interrupt you for a second?
Yeah.
I don't know how big this podcast is going to get, but if John Hamm is listening to this, I'd like your show. I was just going along with the bit.
I think it's horrible, John. No offense. I think you're a great actor, but
those are all great ideas. Those are all really good podcast ideas. But I actually had a podcast pitch of my own.
Oh, do it.
I have it on the list to talk about. I guess I'll just jump ahead.
Yeah.
It would be a podcast. It would be you and me. We wouldn't be in any kind of character or playing ourselves or anything like that. And every episode, it would be us. We'd be on Skype, recording our podcast, just talking between us. But what we'd be talking about, we'd actually be having a podcast pitch meeting and just pitching each other ideas for podcasts.
That's pretty good. But hold on. At one point, one of us dies mysteriously, though, right?
What?
Does one of us die mysteriously?
No. We just talk about cool ideas for podcasts.
But then what are the stakes? Can we threaten each other with violence? Someone has to die. I mean, if you read how to sell scripts in Hollywood, you have to kill someone or threaten someone with violence at a script meeting, at like a pitch. They call it an elevator pitch because you usually hold somebody over an empty elevator shaft while you're telling them about the movie you want to make.
I'm pretty sure you're confused. I don't mean to break the whole yes and thing, but I'm pretty sure you're confused.
You pretty much broke, as I mentioned. Wait, so what does the elevator and elevator pitch mean then?
I thought they were just meetings held on an elevator. Because everyone's busy, they gotta get from floor to floor.
Is there a table on PowerPoint inside the elevator?
No, there's just an old-timey black guy with a big lever and makes it go up and down.
Oh, cool. And he's the one who pitches all of the ideas in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I wondered where they came from. So he really likes the same actors at the same time. That's why you see them in everything at the same time.
Yeah, he's like the film industry's Beggar Vance.
Okay. Oh, what's the name of Rachel from Friends?
Jennifer Aniston.
Do you think she looks like a golden retriever?
Everyone thinks she looks like a golden retriever.
But is it weird to think that and also kind of want to have sex with her?
A little bit.
Because I've never felt that way about an actual golden retriever, but like a girl who looks like a golden retriever really confuses me.
I mean, I think that's kind of built in. It's like, I think that might be why she's kind of where she's at in her career.
Well, do you think that look was sold to her by the old black dude who runs Hollywood? Do you think he pitched to her and said, like, really golden retriever it up and you'll go places?
Probably. I mean, if I may make a conjecture about that.
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston, she was probably going up. She was, probably already an actress in Hollywood, not doing that well. She was going up to meet with her agent in some downtown LA high-rise, something like that. She got on the elevator. She saw Elevator Beggar Vance. She kind of snubbed him because...
I think we should refer to him as Elevator Vance.
Elevator Vance.
Okay.
Yes. And she's kind of snubbed him, and they rode all the way up to the floor her agent's office is on in silence. And as she went to get out, he reached out his hand, put it on her shoulder. She turned around, looked her deep in the eyes, and just said, "Golden retriever."
Oh, man, that's Hollywood magic.
And then he closed the doors.
Wait, on her, or did she get out okay?
No, she got out fine.
Okay.
Question 4.
Okay.
Is it okay if I email you a vignette I wrote last night?
Sure.
All right, hold on a second. Here, I'm sending it to you right now via Gmail.
I can't. By the way, you actually signed me up for Groupon. I thought you were joking.
No, I told you I wasn't joking.
But there's nothing about pants in this mail. And in fact, the weirdest thing about it says, the Groupon promise, we got your back, in big letters. Like they're going to Groupon me when I'm not looking, from behind.
Group all over you, boy.
Okay.
Also, your mic keeps cutting out. That's why I can't hear you.
How about now? I turned up the volume.
Click on the little symbol that looks like a stairway, like on a cell phone of like reception. And then where it says automatically adjust microphone settings, unclick that.
I don't see the stairway.
Like that looks like a cell phone reception thing.
What part of the window is it in? I'm just seeing... Huh. I've got Skype, file, edit, view, contacts, conversation.
What's
window,
under edit? Look under edit.
Is search... It's cut, copy, paste, delete, select all, search contacts and messages, find spelling and grammar, substitution, transformation, speech, special characters.
Are you texting me?
No. I did before.
Okay. Yeah, that was like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Alright. Hey, AD. I don't think I've ever asked you before. Can you do any impressions?
Yeah, I can do two impressions at once, actually.
Okay. What are they?
It's James Brown from Living in America, and Mick Jagger from I Want You Back Again. And it's only one syllable, and it's both of them at the same time.
I'd love to hear it.
Okay, hold on, let me get ready. Let me drink a little water. Okay. It goes like this. What do you got?
I'm pretty good, but I'm no, like I can't even do it.
Okay, well what, do you have anything?
Oh yeah, I got some impressions. I can do a pretty good Robert De Niro from Taxi Driver.
Oh yeah, let me hear that.
Are you talking to me?
Oh man.
Are you talking to me?
Wait, was the second one him in the mirror talking back to him?
No, he just says it twice.
Oh, but he says it to
If you would let me finish.
Okay.
Can I finish?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start over.
Wait.
What?
But he's talking to himself in the mirror when he does this, right?
Yeah.
So was the second one the reflection talking back to him? Taxi Driver takes place in the same universe as Alice Through the Looking Glass. It's positing another world. Yeah.
It's like 150 years later?
Yeah, sure. And it's talking about that's the mirror world, Travis Bickle talking back to him. And of course he's talking to him. Who else would he be talking to? There's only the two of them in the room.
That's right. There's no one else here, so you must be talking to me.
That's pretty good. So they were going to make a sequel to Taxi Driver called Through the Looking Glass. And it's going to start, he would be driving Scorsese around, and Scorsese would be like doing that whole... Dude, I wish I remember what Scorsese said. You remember the scene where Scorsese's talking about how he's going to go up and kill his wife who's cheating on him?
Yeah, I actually can do a pretty good Scorsese impression.
Oh, let's hear it.
Hey, man, I'm going to go up there, and I'm going to kill my wife who's cheating on me.
Was that Our World Scorsese, or was that Mirror World Scorsese?
No, that's actual Scorsese.
Okay. It sounded kind of more like Mirror World.
Scorsese sounds a little bit like, hey, man, I'm going to go up there, and I'm going to kill my wife who's cheating on me.
That's so good, man. Did you watch that recently?
Yeah, I usually watch it before work in the morning, which I have to leave for work at about like 10 till 8. So I really I have to pop that in the old Betamax around like 5 in the morning because it's a long movie.
Yeah, it's pretty long. Are you watching the director's cut that has the whole scenes that take place in the mirror world when he I mean, it's weird. He just goes through the mirror and he just goes into another room and it's just he puts on a Chris Christopherson record. And it's just the two Travis Bickles like waltzing to like a Chris Christopherson song, and that scene is like 40 minutes long.
I don't think I have that. I don't think they have the director's cut on VHS. And that's, I mean, I don't have a DVD player.
No, get the Criterion VHS. It's four cassettes.
4 cassettes.
It's 4 audio cassettes. Hey, so I got questions. Yeah, I've got a few actually.
Okay.
This is a kind of convoluted question, so I might have to describe what I mean here. But have you ever either pretended that you had seen a movie that you'd never seen, or pretended that you hadn't seen a movie that you'd actually seen? Or done the same thing with music, like pretended you've never heard a band that you actually have heard, or pretended that you have heard a band that you'd never heard, and if you have, why?
I would have to say probably. I can't think of any examples. Oh, you're talking about like Kevin Stickles' Bobby Brunzers? Yeah, dude, they're cool, man. But what I don't tell is like I totally heard 45 seconds of their 7-inch one time.
Okay. See, because what was making me think about it was, do you remember there was a band called Evanescence?
No.
Well, there's this horrible sort of like Nickelback kind of, except it's like a girl singing, and it's like sort of, I don't even know what you call that music. It's like, I had a student when I was teaching English who was like a huge Evanescence fan. Like he was the biggest Evanescence fan.
Uh-huh.
And I had to pretend that I had never heard of them because I didn't want to offend him by saying that I didn't like them. So I just kept pretending like, oh yeah, I never heard them. I heard they're good. And he made me a bunch of copies of all of their stuff and gave it to me.
Okay, I have a when you say he made you a bunch of copies of all it, is he giving you like 2-3 copies of every CD? Like, here, distribute these to your friends, like that kind of thing.
It was probably just one DVR of a bunch of a DVD-R of all of their albums, but he was always one to talk about what I thought of them, and I didn't have the heart to tell him that I hated Evanescence.
Oh, actually, you know what? Today I pretended I'd never seen the Boondocks because I didn't want to talk about them.
See, that's what I like. I feel like that's part of growing up. Whereas if I was like in high school, I'd be like, no, that shit sucks. Fuck you, and I'd pick a fight with anybody. You ever seen the DVD extras for Titanic? I've never actually seen the movie, but the DVD extras are really awesome.
Yeah, I fucking hated them.
Really? Dude, that was like 1999 era Leonardo DiCaprio. That was the real shit.
Yeah.
Do you remember how awesome he was? But I'm not even talking about the movies. I'm talking about like him off screen. Like, if you watch the DVD extras, that's like when he was hanging out with David Blaine all the time. And it's like on set, it's just like him and David Blaine levitating everywhere. And like James Cameron is just...
That should be the name of our podcast, Levitating Everywhere.
Could you imagine? It's just Leonardo DiCaprio and David Blaine holding hands and levitating everywhere.
Hold on, I need to see if I can find a picture of this. David Blaine.
You can find David Blaine levitating, I'm pretty sure.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, dude, I was lying. That's never happened.
No, dude, there are pictures of them.
Huh.
Hold on,
No, I know they're best friends.
Did you just make that up? Because they were friends.
No, they are best friends. If you watch the David Blaine documentary, it just keeps cutting to a whole bunch of David Blaine and Leo hanging out.
Hold on, I'm watching a clip of Leonardo DiCaprio talking about David Blaine on TLC. I can't watch this. Leonardo DiCaprio just says, "When you did magic to me at that party right in front of my face," and I just...
When you did magic to me.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, on the set of Titanic, like Leonardo DiCaprio, that was when he was at his height of power. That was like, do you remember when Elvis was all fucked up on drugs before he had his comeback and he was super rich and nobody could ever say the word no to him, and he'd just like get on a plane and fly across the world to go eat a sandwich because he wanted to, and he'd like buy an elephant and then pay one of his friends to kill it in front of him. Like that was the level that DiCaprio was at when they were making Titanic. So it was just him and David Blaine levitating, and James Cameron would come out and be like, "Leo, get on the ground. We got to shoot the scene." He's like, "No, I'm levitating." And
just levitating halfway across the world to go eat a sandwich.
Yeah, and then he'd make David Blaine levitate an elephant up into a ceiling fan until it died, just to be a dick. You know, he had like a jet black cockatiel named Jerry that was his best friend, and the two of them would just be levitating inside a convertible doing like donuts. And James Cameron would just be like, dude, you gotta make Titanic. And he's like, no, I'm levitating, man. Leave me alone.
Okay, so there was something I wanted to discuss with you, AD.
Yeah.
It's something, I know it's very close to your heart, and that is, it's racist Doctor Who fan fiction.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea because science fiction is inherently racist.
Right.
I mean,
I just want you to talk about racist Doctor Who fan fiction for a while.
I'll be honest.
So I can kind of understand your level of excitement because it doesn't quite match mine.
I'm just excited about anything that would cast really negative, sort of damning anything. Like, if you came out and could prove publicly that Doctor Who was racist, I think a whole lot of people would kill themselves. Because, I mean, Star Trek is racist. The reason nobody likes Star Trek anymore is because it was proved publicly and scientifically that it was racist. Remember in, 2007, they proved that Star Trek was racist. And that's why you don't hear anything about Star Trek anymore.
Is this a bit?
No, I'm being dead serious.
How is it racist? Tell me that. Tell me how it's racist.
Because each planet is a different race, right? And each race has some kind of, this is the planet of the thieves, this is the planet of the killers, this is the planet of the people who only use their left hand, this is the planet of pederasts, this is the planet of people who wear hats, this is the planet that wants to kill anyone who wears a hat, this is the planet of the guys who look serious all the time, this is the planet of the people who, lick their knives when they're done using them. And that's racist. That's sort of a medieval way of looking at the world. And Academia came out in 2007 and said Star Trek is racist. We're declaring this publicly. They took what's his name?
Jean-Luc Picard.
Jean-Luc, who's the actor who played him? Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
They took him to a cornfield and they made him dig his own grave, and then they shot him in the back of the head with a shotgun, and then they buried him. No, honestly, all that was bullshit, but I do believe that Star Trek is racist.
I don't think they actually shot Patrick Stewart in the back of the
head.
Oh,
no, that part is true.
That part is true?
That's the only true part of the story.
Okay. So, where were we?
If you died, would you rather become a transient after you died, or would you rather become a ghost?
I mean, they both have their pros and their cons.
Let's go through that. Because, I feel like a transient has a whole lot more pros than a ghost does, but a ghost can see a whole lot more people naked.
That's where I was going with that. I'm like, well, transient, I could still, masturbate while at the park.
Yeah,
which is something
of course.
I do, and I will continue to do all the way up until I die.
That's something I'd love to do now, but I want to die and become a transient before I can do it,
Exactly. I mean, that's totally understandable. That's how a lot of the population feels about it. I mean, that's why you have so many people who are converting from Christianity to atheism because, they're not ready for that ghost phase yet.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people who are, letting the Holy Spirit out of their hearts, just kind of shooing it out.
Because they want to masturbate in a park, basically.
It's all in Freakonomics. You can read about it. I've read about it extensively. I wrote a couple short form essays about it, just kind of from my own personal experience with masturbating in public places. So yeah, it's all in Freakonomics. You can read about it there.
Okay. The cool thing about transients versus ghosts is transients have better songs than ghosts. Transients have a whole tradition of music where ghosts basically just sort of have anything from sort of groaning to howling. Which, that might be the next big musical genre. So what we're saying now might be totally moot when ghosts become the next big thing.
Anything in 3/4 I associate with the afterlife.
Wait, so ghosts came up with the idea of a waltz?
I don't know if they came up with it, but they definitely kind of co-opted it. And anything with pipe organs.
Oh god, I'm sick of ghosts co-opting our culture, man.
Yeah, it's gotten to there's that huge backlash against white girls wearing headdresses and everything, which was a little unfounded because they're like hot girls and who are you to even talk to them? It's
Yeah.
You don't have that right. Why don't people get mad at ghosts for trying to take on human form?
Robert Fripp, actually, the guitarist Robert Fripp, he quit being a musician because ghosts were stealing his music. A lot of people were killing themselves when listening to Robert Fripp music. and, bringing that shit into the afterlife and not paying for it. So he actually quit this week. If you look it up on Google, Robert Fripp gave up playing guitar.
I actually use Bing, so...
Get on Bing and write directions to nearest Red Lobster, Robert Fripp quits playing guitar, David Blaine levitating live elephant into ceiling fan, 9/11 Tower 7 conspiracy cocktail recipe. And you should find it.
Hold on, say it again.
White girls in headdresses, Robert Fripp.
Hold on. White girls in headdresses.
Robert Fripp quits music because of ghosts co-opting.
Hold on, just slow down. Robert Fripp quits music because of ghosts.
Ghosts co-opting.
Is co-opting hyphenated?
I think so, but it doesn't matter. Bing is smart. Bing will know what you're looking for. Then write directions to Red Lobster.
Directions to Red Lobster.
Oh, nearest Red Lobster.
Nearest Red Lobster.
Yeah, that's important. And then write David Blaine.
This is really specific.
Yeah, well, you'll find exactly what I'm talking about if you Bing it correctly. Okay, David Blaine levitating. Live elephant.
Uh-huh.
Into ceiling fan.
Into or just two?
Into, because the ceiling fan has to be hitting and killing the elephant.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he's just levitating it up to get a better look. Okay.
No.
Into ceiling fan.
And that's it. And if you Bing it correctly, you should find exactly what I'm talking about.
What the fuck did I find?
What do you got?
The results. Let me just read. Because Becca, Bechtel, Becks, Becker, Beckers, Beckett, Blaine's, Blair, Blair's, Blase, Blake, Blake's, Blakely, Ceilings, Cell, Celebrity, Celebrant, Celebrants, Celebrate.
No, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to show you on the internet.
We have decided that this podcast will be called Levitating Everywhere.
Oh, speaking of which, we should figure out our format for intros. Like, we need to do an intro every week, and if it was kind of the same thing, it would be good, right? It would make sense. The only reason I bring it up is because, I don't know if you listened to the one we made last week, but you'll notice that I didn't say my own name, right? There's a legal reason why I can't say my own name. So I'm thinking that in any place where I would say my own name, I'd like you to say it, but put it in post.
Okay.
You could make like a Casio keyboard sample, and you could just hit it every time my name would come up.
Hey, Tegan. Hey, Tegan.
Yeah. So like, we could do an intro, and you'll say like, "Hi, I'm Zach Collins," and I'll say, "Hi, I'm." Yeah, but don't actually do it. Do it in post. It would be better.
Oh, I'm gonna do it in post. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I mean, I don't own the digital rights to my name anymore.
Oh,
so
who? Did you sell them, or did you lose them in some sort of litigation?
I actually, I'm under probation right now for trying to steal my own identity. I had a pretty bad breakup about 5 months ago or so.
I remember.
And one of the terms of our breakup was she got to keep my digital rights, but I misunderstood that, thinking that it was just my name on social networking sites. But no, it's the whole thing. If you'll notice, I never really use my real name on the internet,
Right.
because every time I do, I have to pay money.
How much are you... I don't mean to interrupt, but how much are you paying her every time you use your own name on the internet?
About 1,000 yen, which is like $12, but that adds up.
Yeah, that's pretty steep.
Yeah. Yeah, but I thought if you worked in an office, that meant that you were like on Facebook talking about cats and shit. Like,
No, they told me I wasn't allowed to do that. They took me into like the conference room and told me I wasn't allowed to do that anymore.
specifically cats?
Yes, just specifically cats. Everything else is fair game.
What about openly masturbating to things other than cats? You can't masturbate to cats, right?
No, I cannot masturbate to cats. They have that. They specifically stated that. They specifically stated, Zach, we don't want you on Facebook looking at, liking, or sharing pictures of cats. We also don't want you masturbating to cats. They didn't mention anything about masturbating to, like, heteronormative porn. Nothing like that.
Yo, that shit is so 2007, though. I mean,
What,
I
cats?
can't even get... No. Heteronormative pornography. Dude, I've gotten so deep into this shit that all I do is I get a furniture catalog and cut out pieces of furniture, and then just hold the two cut out like chairs in front of me and just bang them together and pretend they're having sex. That's the only thing I'm into now. Hey, so let's do an intro. How's that sound?
That sounds good. I'm gonna hold on.
What was that?
That was me slurping coffee. Well, that's just out of like their podcast is like brand new too.
Oh, okay.
And we have more reviews than they do. They have 1 and we have 6.
I love how they're like a legit like 40-year-old institution.
I know. Levitating Everywhere is higher ranked on iTunes than the Groundlings podcast.
That's funny. Anyway, let's do the intro.
All right.
No, don't do that.
Welcome to Levitating Everywhere. I'm your host, Zach Collins.
And I'm...
All right, we're good.
Oh, so off the top, I think we should say I'd like to thank Tom Whalen for the intro.
Yes, I would also like to thank Tom Whalen. You can view his website at pizzapuke.tumblr.com.
And I think he's from Canada.
I don't know.
So you were like 3 years old when Kurt Cobain died?
I guess. I don't really remember it, because...
You never knew Kurt Cobain when he was alive? Like, you have no image of him? It's just
No,
like...
I never met him.
Yeah.
Not even after he died, I never met him.
It was a big deal when he died.
A nation fell to its knees.
Kind of. I mean, I was just thinking about, like, Kim Jong-il when he died. You remember that, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember how, like, I don't know, everybody in North Korea was freaking out and crying publicly. And, like,
Or
they
else
were
they'd
like...
be, like, shot.
Well, that's the question. I mean, was it, or lest they be shot, or were things so worked up in North Korea that, like, their media was so pervasive they had to act like that? I mean, when Kurt Cobain died, that's kind of what America was going through.
Yeah, because they had to be upset that Kurt Cobain died, or else they'd be shot too.
No, yeah, we were all, you know...
Terrified of Courtney Love and her fucking 12 gauge. She'd done it once. What's stopping her from doing it again?
Not even the government, just her individually coming out and shooting anyone who's not crying.
That's what the problem with our nation today. There's no more government mandated crying.
Yeah. What was it like when Michael Jackson died here?
It was like an outtake from the Warriors. People were like rioting in the streets. It was.
They were roving Michael Jackson gangs?
Well, they weren't gangs. They were just groups of mourners, just like moonwalking down the street with tears streaming down their cheeks.
Just like wrecking cars and...
Yeah, just like flipping over school buses and smashing store windows. Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
Oh man.
You don't remember that? Were you in Japan at the time?
I was in Japan. Dude, I've got actually a true story about Michael Jackson's funeral. There's like a big park in the center of Tokyo called Yoyogi. It's I don't know, you ever seen footage of those fucking rockabilly dudes dancing in Tokyo? That's the place. That's it's right, it's like near Haju. Well, it doesn't fucking matter. So I was in that park for a friend's birthday, like right around when Michael Jackson died. I think he died on a Friday. Maybe I was there on a Friday night or a Saturday. And I was drinking in the park all day until it got dark, and then we were leaving the park, and there was a candlelight vigil for Michael Jackson. Just random civilians had all gotten together and were holding candles.
How did they organize that? Like,
I have no idea.
People like walk by like, oh, what are you guys doing? And then like, oh, it's a good idea. And then they
no, because listen, it got even weirder. So there was like one little set of skinny little speakers somewhere playing like Billie Jean, but like really quietly and weird. And there was like 3 or 4 Michael Jackson impersonators, like bad Michael Jackson impersonators, like just sort of like greasy dudes dressed up like different eras of Michael Jackson.
There was a 5-foot-tall guy who weighed 500 pounds.
No, it wasn't that bad.
There was an 8-year-old girl.
I wish. No, it was weird because they were all vaguely kind of Michaelish, and the one closest to me looked like he had full-on Jerry curl in, which I don't even know where he got that. But the weirdest thing about it is we were all like, there was something really fucked up and eerie about it. Like, each person who was at this funeral was probably some kind of insane maniac. And I was trying not to get too into the scene because everybody there was obviously crazy, but I was standing very close to one of the Michael Jackson impersonators who started dancing and spinning around, but there was no real music playing. The only music was just like really far away. And while he was dancing and spinning around, under his breath he just kept going, Michael, Michael, Michael. And both me and my girlfriend were like, ugh, and like ran out of there, and we felt like we were cursed. It was like, I don't think we talked about it for like the next half hour, and then like half an hour later I was like, that was pretty fucked up, right?
That is weird. I was standing out front of Lauren's apartment the other day, just like smoking a cigarette, waiting for her to get back from work. And I see this guy walking down the street. He's like this old guy, but he's like maybe like 6.5 feet tall, but just like super skinny, and just like wearing like nylon running shorts, so like pretty short, and like a tank top, and he's barefoot, carrying an empty like paper towel roll.
Yeah.
And a bottle of shampoo, and he has a Bluetooth headset on, and every step he takes is like when his foot hits the ground, he's just like, disgusting. So he's walking down the street just disgusting, 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 disgusting. And he just like staring straight down at the ground.
He was going to go fuck that toilet paper roll, right? I mean, he was going to shampoo it up and just fuck it publicly somewhere, right? While saying disgusting into his headset, right?
Just like self-shaming. It's like, you're so filthy. You're disgusting. Ugh, Mom.
Oh, maybe he has a long-distance relationship and he's talking to like his boyfriend or girlfriend who's somewhere else, who's also fucking some kind of piece of cardboard. And they're both shaming each other. But where did he get the Bluetooth? You think it was a real Bluetooth?
People just give those away.
Oh, God. Our first podcast, our first episode was a smashing success. And got some fan mail already.
Oh,
that
really?
I'd like to read. Yeah, it's only addressed to me, though.
Huh.
So you're going to have to put my name in post.
Okay.
So the letter goes like this. Dear Deegan, I heard your first episode and I think it was great. I especially like how cool you sound. You sound like a beautiful tall person and I like you a lot. Good episode. You are definitely taller than the other person whose name I don't know or care to know. Love, Jennifer Computers. P.S. You sound very tall. Thank you. So thanks, Jennifer. Means a lot that you'd write in.
Yeah, thanks, Jennifer. I think you like the show. To all of our other listeners out there, if you want to send in fan mail, we have an email address. It's just levitatingeverywhere@gmail.com.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think so. That's not even a real email address.
Okay, cool.
Okay. We got a review on iTunes that's just talking about how there are no Prince songs in the podcast, but they said Bat Jam when it's called Bat Dance, so that kind of threw me off.
I think it's probably some coded message, and we should spend a lot of time figuring out what they actually mean.
Go to cypher.com.
Okay.
/Prince.
Okay.
Dot. Purple.
Okay.
/rain.
Okay.
Dot.
Okay.
PHP.
Wait, PHP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Okay.
$.
Okay.
Dove's Cry.
Dove's Cry, okay. It says enter query.
Oh, after Dove sign, just put .net.
Okay. I'm just typing Batjam into Bing.
Okay.
I think it's taken me to Dutch Wikipedia. Oh no, it's German Wikipedia. And it seems to be a city in Israel. Called Batjam.
Hey, AD.
Yeah.
This is a slight change of subject.
Yeah, man.
But, how do you feel about our sophomore slump?
It's pretty horrible, man. But
Yeah.
I blame myself.
I blame you, too.
Or not even just like ghosts, like animals just like furniture in a house where you're painting, so you cover up the furniture.
Yeah.
Say you have a like a contractor job or a contractor company, and people pay you and they say, we want a lot of drywall in here, we want you to paint the house. So you go in there and you cover all of their furniture with big white sheets, right? It looks like ghosts already. But
Right.
then when they're not around, you replace all of the furniture with different animals. And then the furniture just starts walking around because underneath the sheet.
Like a dog in a couch costume.
Or maybe like a donkey wearing like a love seat helmet. Dude, I get like 4 emails from Groupon a day now. I finally put them on ignore. It's for shit. It's all for like yoga and jazzercise and Zumba. It's all for some kind of weird middle-aged woman aerobic stuff.
Never mind.
So what? Give me a question. What do you got?
I didn't really come up with any questions.
What are your talking points?
I got some podcast pitches.
Okay, go.
All right. This first podcast idea I have, it would be kind of like a cross between like Taxi Cab Confessions and a hidden camera show.
Okay.
What we would do is we would go to a Catholic church with like our recording equipment, and we'd wait in the confessional booth for someone to come in, and then we would just record them like telling us all the horrible things that they've done that week, and then we would just give them really strange like penance to do, you know?
Yeah, but see, I wasn't raised Catholic. What do those priests actually tell people to do? Just tell them to say a certain number of prayers, right? It's nothing ever complicated. Because it would be cool if those priests were actually giving, like, really complicated orders.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking we would do. Like, it's like, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I did a thing. Or like, forgive me, Father, I have sinned. I told this girl I was wearing a condom.
Wait, but what was the situation in which you were telling the girl? Were you at like a shopping mall?
No, you were having sex.
Oh.
You're like, no, it's fine, I'm wearing a condom. But I wasn't, because I don't believe in birth control as a Catholic.
Oh, okay.
And so I thought lying was a more acceptable sin than, killing one of God's angels.
Which is sperm. Every single sperm is one of God's angels.
Yes, and every time a sperm doesn't get into an egg, an angel, like, their wings are clipped and they just fall to earth and die.
Holy shit. That's horrible, man. Do you know how many sperms are just snuffed out every day?
Too many. I'll tell you that right now, AD. There are too many, and that's the real point of levitating everywhere. This podcast is serving to further the Catholic agenda. We need to stop masturbating, stop using condoms, stop wasting.
You just said that in a tone like you were against it. You're like, this podcast is serving to further the Catholic agenda. Like, I thought you were changing your attitude on it.
I'm very conflicted about my religious beliefs. It's two guys, and they're like, they have a passion for like practical jokes and pranks.
Okay.
And the main conceit of this podcast is that the two prank guys are brothers.
Uh-huh.
And it's called Prankster Brothers.
Okay.
Because there's this other podcast called Pasta Brothers, like pasta, BROS period.
Okay.
And that's about two Siamese twins who just teach people how to boil water and cook pasta.
Wait, so does that mean then Prankster Brothers... Okay, so Pasta Brothers, the podcast itself, is a prank being perpetrated by the Pasta Brothers?
No. Pasta Brothers is a long-term prank that was perpetrated by the Prankster Brothers. They actually are Siamese brothers, but what they did to be Pasta Brothers is they just glued hardened mass of pasta all over their Siamese bits.
Wait, so where are they joined? Where are their Siamese bits?
Like at the hip.
Okay.
They have 3 legs, 1 hip, 2 belly buttons, 4 nipples, 2 arms, because they connect again. There's like an empty spot between the armpit and the hip where you could like stick your arm through them.
Oh, that's cool though, because then they could get like a backpack or like a fanny pack and just stick it in there, and they could keep all their stuff in there. Dude, fuck doing pranks. They should just walk around. They should become drug mules. And if they just got one really big ski mask, they could put it over both their heads. And then they can move up from being a drug mule and become a gangster. And then when they have one big ski mask over both their faces, they can call themselves One Face, and that'll be like their crazy nickname. And everyone will be like, "Who's One Face?" Because they assume everybody has one face. But then they meet a guy who's got 1 face and 2 bodies, and he's totally fucking terrifying. They'll be like the biggest fucking narco. Then they can go into Mexico and they can start taking over the drug trade. Give up on this prankster shit. Make a podcast about,
There's no reason to be afraid of the cartel anymore. Because even if they cut their face off and sew it to a soccer ball, they still have 1 face left.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. I'll be right back. The phone's ringing.
Seems like a waste that we're still recording during this part, so I'm just gonna be on my own. Talking to nobody in particular, like a maniac. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I'm getting calls from other people on Skype. Did you hear that weird noise? Dude, don't even mention Asimo to me. My brother figured out my emotional breaking point, my emotional weak point is seeing malfunctioning robots on YouTube. So he found all of the videos that's like Asimo falling downstairs and like Asimo can't make it through the hoop and Asimo like facing the wrong way during panel discussion, and it's just like Asimo fucking up, like Asimo on a tricycle falling off a building. There's one where it's like this really it's probably Disneyland or something, World of the Future, I have no idea, but there's this really, really overexcited woman with like a headset being like, "Hey guys, here comes Asimo!" And he comes out and he's facing in the wrong direction. And she can't get him to turn around, and she's like trying to play it off, but she's obviously panicking. And she's like, "How does that make you feel, Asimo?" And he just starts dancing, so he's shaking his ass. But the fact that he has his back turned and he's shaking his ass at the audience looks like it's like the ultimate fuck you to the audience. She's like, "So how do you feel, Asimo?" And he's just like, "Fuck you," and just shaking his ass at the audience. It's horrible. No, so there's this one where Osimo has to perform surgery on this. I think who was the president before? It's Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter's pet turtle, and the assistant, the nurse, is like really overexcited, and she's like, "Osimo, you're gonna have to do a triple bypass on this turtle." He just fucking face plants into the turtle. He just falls onto it, knocks over the whole operating table, scalpels everywhere.
Has someone already done the prep work for the surgery? Like, is the turtle
already
been, like, opened up and everything?
It's opened up. He's got steady hands. He's a robot. He's supposed to have, like, he doesn't have a heartbeat, so his hand doesn't shake.
Right, so he doesn't have to do the grunt work. You bring him in for the precision stuff.
Oh, no, man. He's a fucking pitch hitter.
Oh, man, I saw this Osseo video where it was a demo of Osseo, and he was at, like, Staples or Office Max or something, and he was getting, like, a new charger, and he accidentally got a mini USB charger instead of a micro USB charger.
Oh, that fucking idiot.
And then he, like, got all the way out to the parking lot before he realized and had to immediately go back in and return it. And like, the cashier was, like, the same woman who checked him out, and she was just shaking her head at him.
They were trying to do this thing to show that he could differentiate between really subtle colors. And it was this woman had 3 apples on a table, and they were all vaguely really close. One was like red, one was like green-red, and one was yellow-red. And, they told Osmo, get the green one, and he was supposed to walk up and take the apple. And he just reached up and yanked off the woman's head and just tore her head off and then just walked away. And they were following him, and they just kept being like, dude, where are you going? Come back. And they couldn't get the head away from him. They couldn't get him to stop. Eventually, they had to pull over, like, a tanker truck full of nitrous oxide and blow it up in front of him to get him to stop walking. But they still couldn't pry the skull out of his hands. He was just charred, and all the flesh had been burnt off the skull. It was horrible. It went on for, like, 40 hours.
Oh, I think I like, saw that, or, like, heard about it on, like, BuzzFeed or something. Like, weren't his his robot fingers, like, actually, like, hooked in the eye sockets? Like,
yeah, they were
the
digging
passages.
Yeah, and they couldn't get. They actually they had an open casket funeral for that woman, and the funeral was just Osimo's body and her charred skull held on his chest.
There was actually something really similar like that, where they couldn't get Osimo to, like, never mind, fuck this, doesn't matter.
Dude, you can't bail. You gotta keep going. Oh, whatever, fine.
Oh.
So, maybe this is just my own fucked up psychology, but seeing footage of breaking robots is more tragic than looking at photos of my dead relatives.
Are they dead in the photos?
Yeah, my family's really fucking morbid.
I found a photo album in an abandoned apartment building once, and it was all, like, softcore pornography that, like, obviously this guy took pictures of, like, his girlfriend or whatever in lingerie, but in there was just one picture from an open casket funeral of this, like, super gaunt, like, old dead black man.
Wait, so it was just softcore pornography, and there was one picture of an open casket funeral in the middle of all of these just, like, soft poses of women in lingerie?
Yes.
Huh.
And, like, the picture of the dead guy was from a really weird angle, so you could, like, see all the way up his nose.
Yikes. Do you think he was the guy who designed the lingerie? Because, like, back in the day when they, like, I'm talking about, like, ancient world, like Alexander the Great's time, when they built a structure or they built, like, a bridge, and they poured the foundation, lots of times they'd actually kill a slave and put its body inside to, like, sort of bless and protect the structure. It's like an old practice. Do you maybe... when was that photo album from? Like the 60s, 70s?
No, it was probably from, like, the 90s.
Huh, well, that's kind of late, but I was just thinking, like, maybe the guy who designed all the lingerie, they kill him to bless all of the lingerie forever.
So, wait, were they still doing this back in the 60s and 70s?
Yeah, I think so. You ever heard of the Hoover Dam? If you go to the base of it, I think there's, like, 15 elephants and an ostrich buried in there.
Can you, like, see the outline of them, like Han Solo?
Oh, yeah, man, they did it really fucking shoddily. You can just see their trunks hanging out, and, like, feet.
There's practically no structures left on the face of the Earth older than 80 years.
Oh, there are, but they're all made by aliens. I mean, the Parthenon, Leaning Tower of Pisa, what's that one? The one Sistine Chapel, all the stuff in Europe that aliens made.
that skyscraper that looks like a pickle, the one in London.
Oh yeah, and those Petronas towers in Kuala Lumpur. They were made by aliens
Space
like 20
Needle.
years ago. Space Needle made by aliens.
Kilimanjaro.
That's not a structure, but yeah, yes.
The Redwood Forests.
The Redwood Forests, the Mississippi River, the Hudson River, any river actually, made by aliens. Dude, did you see Prometheus?
No, I didn't.
Oh, don't worry. So, okay, I'm gonna pitch a podcast to you.
Okay.
Okay, so this is gonna be it's gonna be a craft podcast, but it's also gonna be like a sort of international spy intrigue podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So, a while ago, meaning like a long, long time ago, before I was born, really, friendship bracelets were a big thing. Where it's like, when you were friends with someone, you'd make them a special bracelet to show your friendship for them.
Right.
So,
right, and they could never take it off.
yeah, it was legally binding that they'd have to keep it on until it broke or they died. So, keep it on until it broke or they died. So, I'm thinking we make like an international intrigue, like a team of assassins called Friendship Bracelets. But bracelets is written out like a acronym, like B.R. I mean, I don't know if it stands for anything, but it looks cool. It looks,
Yeah, no, it definitely looks way cooler.
it looks like some spy shit. I mean, spies are super secretive, so when things stand for things, nobody knows what the hell they stand for.
I don't know what CIA stands for.
Nobody does. If they told you, they'd have to kill you. That's actually their slogan. It says CIA, and then it says, if we told you, we'd have to kill you. Registered trademark. So it's like a team of racial stereotypes, like in an action movie. And I'm figuring, like, you could be like the hot-blooded Latina woman. I'd be like the neurotic Jewish dude. There'd have to be like a white dude and a black dude, or a white girl and a black woman. So all the stereotypes are represented.
Oh, that's what bracelets stand for.
Maybe. Great.
Black, red, Asian, Caucasian, Latino, Eskimo, Singapore, Singaporean. Go on.
Okay, yeah, so every race is represented in this multi-ethnic team. And every week the team gets orders that they have to go kill someone, like a high-powered target, like a guy who, I don't know, like a big drug dealer. So yeah, say they get an order from Central Command that says, like, there's this drug dealer named One Face south of the border and you gotta take him out. And so each one of them each member of Bracelet has their own thread, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they use all as a team to garrote their target. They choke him to death, but while they're choking him to death, they weave a really beautiful bracelet that they give to each other as friends. And, people listening to this at home will get the instructions on how to weave the bracelet. So each week you learn how to make a beautiful new bracelet while hearing about this crazy adventure.
Is it like an old-time radio show where it's just like people doing different voices and some guy narrating and a guy making like creak when a door opens?
It's just going to be me doing every single voice and you just basically hitting a tin pan and pouring some water into a cup.
I've always wanted to be a Foley artist.
Yeah, man. The thing you really need to get, though, is a frozen chicken. Because if you want to get a good punch sound effect, you just have to punch a frozen chicken real hard. And, if you want to act out a sex scene, you have to punch a bag of frozen peas.
Really hard.
Really fucking hard. I mean, you're going to have to get a boxing glove because you don't want to fuck up your knuckles.
Right.
And if you want to act out sort of like the sound of a door slamming really hard, you have to punch...
You have to punch a door so hard that it slams shut.
Yeah, you gotta slam a door with your fist. All I'm asking is, do you have a door and a big freezer?
I have a normal size freezer. Like my refrigerator has like the side-by-side door, so it's pretty tall but narrow.
Does it have an ice maker?
Yeah, it has an ice maker in the door.
Because I'm guessing that the agents of Bracelet probably have an ice maker in their headquarters. So if we need the sound of an ice maker, it would be nice if we just...
Yeah, no, I totally have that covered.
Okay. On the Nine Inch Nails album Broken, if you have the CD, in the thank yous section of it, it says like thank yous, And then it goes, the only thing written there, it says, fuck you, you know who the fuck you are. Why even bother including a fucking thank you section, asshole? He's the one who decided to make a thank you section. I mean, can you imagine, like getting an award and being like, I'd like to thank nobody, fuck y'all, walking away. It's like, yeah, then don't thank anybody, asshole. Okay, here's my podcast idea. So, you know, there's a few art forms that are, like, just distinctly American that we can take as our own, you know?
Like what?
Which is, like, country music, the comic strip, date rape, devil sticks, rap music, and blues, and the rocket ship, and ghosts that howl.
The French language.
Yeah, French language was invented in Louisiana.
Kimchi.
Oh yeah, definitely. And statues. Yeah, cuneiform, statues. All that
meat.
stuff. Lunch meat. Yeah.
One time I did replace my friend's anxiety medication with Adderall. That was a good prank.
That sounds horrible. What happened? Did his head blow up?
No, he died.
Okay. That's the ultimate prank. The ultimate prank is killing somebody. Can you imagine the cops are arresting you? You'd be like, "No, it was a prank.
That was
it
a
the
prank!
Ultimate prank." Take you before the judge. You could just evoke prank. Most people don't know that's the ultimate loophole in the American justice system. If you can prove that it's a prank. I mean, mainly it's if the judge laughs or not. But otherwise...
All right, that's pretty good. You can go.
Yeah, that's usually what they say. They can't laugh too hard. They just go, yeah, all right, that's pretty good. See, I'm more into inside jokes than I'm into pranks.
Why don't you just do pranks that only some people will get? Like murder. Not everyone's gonna get murder.
Not everyone finds murder funny, really. Lots of times after a murder, you have like the bloody weapon in your hand and you go, you had to be there.
Get it? Get it?
This probably a model and his agent came in and they were looking through a portfolio together, and the model was like a white dude and his agent was like a Japanese dude, and every page that they looked at, the model, who was like this really tall, good-looking, effeminate like model dude, just kept saying, yeah, and this is my gang pose, and then he'd point to the next page and go, and this is also my gang pose, yeah, and this is my gang pose, and this is also my gang pose. It went on for like a good 5 minutes that he'd just point to another page and go, yeah, and this is my gang pose, and here I am doing a gang pose. And this is me doing a gang pose. I was just sitting there like...
Oh, and this one... No, wait, that's also my gang pose. Okay.
Seriously, and it went on for like 5 straight minutes. And I was like later I was like trying to tell that story to people, and they're like, oh yeah, that's pretty funny. If you go into an abandoned house in Cincinnati, and you look hard enough, you can find a photo album that's just a bunch of women in lingerie. And then there's a picture of my dog in a coffin.
Why'd you put your dog in a coffin?
Oh, because, you know, we're very religious. People rep G.G. Allen like he's some good...
I fucking hate him.
Well, first of all, I don't like his music. Second of all, they're like, yo, man, he shat on stage. It's like, yeah, man. Anybody could do that. Fuck that. Would you like to... Could you imagine, like, wanting to go see G.G. Allen? It's like the concept of that is... But can you imagine casually hanging out with him? Like, would you be like, hey, let's go to Gigi's house, he's gonna eat a tampon? Like, you wouldn't be down with that.
No, G.G. Allen did write a book.
Did he?
Yeah.
What's it called?
It was called The Glowing Lantern.
Wait, G.G. Allen and the Glowing Lantern?
No, it was by G.G. Allen. It was just called The Glowing Lantern.
Is it a mystery novel?
Yeah, it's a mystery novel it's like for teens.
Oh, wow. Dude, he made a whole series.
Did he?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me look this up.
G.G. Allen... Yeah, the G.G. Allen mysteries. The Case of the Laughing Skull.
Uh-huh.
The Haunted Sock.
Yeah.
G.G. Allen Inside the Grandfather Clock.
Runaway Jury.
G.G. Allen at the Center of the Earth. Oh, man. Wait. Look up on Google image search. It's just G.G. Allen with a flashlight walking into like a haunted tomb and eating a tampon. Here he is, he's fist fighting some Nazis on a runaway train and he's eating a tampon.
These are so weird.
Here he is, he's like there's a mummy popping out of a sarcophagus and freaking him out and he's dropping the tampon before he can eat it. God damn it, what year are these from?
Are these like early career or this is like late career stuff?
No, this is late career. Oh, holy shit, dude. G.G. Allen's still alive and he lives in Vermont and he writes mysteries for kids. No, look, dude. Here he is. He's got a big beard and he's got a bunch of... Oh, here he is. He's got a bunch of dachshunds. He's got like a bunch of pet dogs and he's feeding them tampons. Used tampons.
Don't you know anything about theater? Have you never tread the boards?
I tread a board once and then I left.
Are you sure you're not thinking of walking the plank?
Oh, yeah. I've treaded one board at knife point, and then I fell into the ocean. Something that used to really weird me out when I was a kid was like... You know how Disney characters are basically dating themselves? Like, Mickey Mouse basically has sex with himself with a bow on his head.
Well, yeah.
But that means that, like, Mickey Mouse could probably put a bow on his own head and look at himself in the mirror and masturbate to, like, completion.
Why do you act like that's like an unprecedented, strange thing?
So you're telling me that you could put a bow in your hair, look at yourself in the mirror, and masturbate?
Well, I don't usually need the bow.
You can imagine the bow?
No, I don't.
Are you saying that the bow is implied?
No, the bow is just unnecessary. I don't even need the concept of a bow.
That's on some other shit, man.
No, you just focus in on one part. You just cover, like, you get, like, I like to put like a curtain over it, and then I like cut a hole so I can just see like my nipple.
Oh wow.
And that's why I shave my right nipple.
Oh wow. So what are you imagining? That it's the nipple belonging to a girl that looks exactly like you but is not hairy?
No, it's a girl who looks exactly like Mickey Mouse.
I mean, what kind of mouse do you like?
Anthropomorphic.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really fucked up if you were into, like, dude, what would you call that? Normal mouse?
You ever seen the movie Mouse Hunt?
You ever seen that? What? You ever seen that genre of pornography called normal mouse? I'm into that post-human shit where they cloned a human ear onto a mouse's back. That's the only thing that could get me hard.
That's sometimes I do that in the mirror too. I just look at my ear and imagine it's the back of a mouse.
The only thing that can turn me on is a human body part cloned onto the back of a rodent. Hey, how many dogs does your mom have?
My mom has 3 dogs.
Okay, cool. Alright, bye. Okay. What are your notes?
Well, we gotta do the intro first.
Okay. I got an idea for an intro.
Okay.
How about you say, I'm Zach Collins, and then I say, and he's Zach Collins, and then we say, and together we are levitating everywhere.
So you're not even mentioned in it?
No.
I'm Zach Collins.
And he's Zach Collins.
And together...
we're levitating everywhere.
Levitating everywhere.
Were you trying to say that at the same time that I was saying that?
Oh, I said it at the exact same time as you.
This episode of Levitating Everywhere is brought to you by Adult Cousin Finder. Find adult cousins anywhere in the continental U.S. at adultcousinfinder.com.
Okay, so I don't really have any notes because I lost them.
Weren't there some in the email?
Email? What email?
I think I sent you an email at some point.
Let's pull up the old Gmail notes. Okay, that's when you're... Okay, there are notes from you.
Hold on, let me try to find that. What day was that? Oh, okay, I got it.
September 21st.
Oh, okay. Irrational fears. Do you have any irrational fears?
Irrational fears. Yes, actually, my number one fear is underwater caves.
Oh,
you know,
really?
like in coral reefs and stuff, when they have those like really like long, thin caves that are just wide enough for a person to swim through. I'm fucking terrified of those.
But are you terrified about the idea of them existing, or terrified about actually going into one?
Both. I don't like knowing that they're out there.